Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back. Sunday Night Live, 30th of November, match week 18 in Sky Bet League One. Lots of goals, lots of drama, goal galore in Huddersfield, misery for Blackpool, misery for Plymouth, more misery for Burton Albion. We're going to go through it all in tonight's live stream, but we've got to do it with our good pal, Jake Tong. Let's get him in. Like I say, hang on a minute. I need to work out hang on a minute. Let's get this the right way around. Let's know your place, sunshine. How are you, mate? You all right, pal?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm all right, thank you. I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm happy, mate. We're obviously another win. It's what we do at home now. 3 wins in a row, so I'm feeling good. Had a nice, productive Sunday. Yeah, you've blown up this weekend as well, by all accounts. It's a shame it's not literal. Unfortunately, it's just on the internet. You had a tweet blow up, didn't you? You got, what was it, 3.1 million views or whatever it's on?
Yeah. For just saying I'm sticking to my roots. I've been called Nathan Shelley. I've been called Godosaurus. Yeah, got quite a few names as well. And then I got all the insults as well at the football yesterday. So one of those. Let me know if you can see and hear me in chat below. You could do us a favour, give us a like, give us a subscription. Let me know you're here. Hello, Charlie Keegan. Hello, pal. Hello, mate. Good to see you in the chat. Here he is. Hello, Jack. Good to see you, pal. What time do you call this, boys? There you are. Keep them waiting, mate.
I tell you what, mate. The fact that we're here, I don't think he should be calling out for timekeeping. But every appointment I have, he's basically late anyway. So I don't know what he's talking about.
A bit like your payment to him. Yeah.
Hey, it works 50-50. I'll have you know. He gets a lot out of me. I get a lot out of him.
Yeah. Do you know? Hello, Luca. Good to see you, pal. Well done. In the Arsene Wenger coat. The Arsene Wenger coat. Yeah. There we are. Hello, Chris. Thank you for joining, buddy. Cheers, Luca. Appreciate you, mate. How's the result? We finally beat Fleetwood after 4 years. Yeah, well done.
He's not milking it though. He don't want to milk it, you know.
No.
Luca beating Fleetwood at home. Beating Fleetwood at home.
If Lincoln did that, Jake, come on, you would. You know.
As everyone knows, Ben, it's your cup final, isn't it? Beating Lincoln. So
yeah. Why do we constantly go 5 at the back, hold on against bottom of the league? So negative.
We can talk about that.
We can do as well. Big game Tuesday. Is Jakey ready?
Of course I'm ready, mate.
Yeah.
I'm always ready.
Yeah, keep the likes coming, guys. Keep the questions coming. Highlights finally win for Bradford, which we'll get into very soon. Bradford a bit down the pecking order today, but we will come to all the running order is down below. Like I say, we're trying to hit 100 likes again on this stream. If we can do it, that'd be appreciated. And thank you very much for 18,200 subscribers. We finally broke the mold of 18.1 because we were there for what felt like an eternity. It felt like waiting for Port Vale to score a goal, which we'll get to very soon. And I've never wanted to go told you so more. What I might do, I might just go and hire like 30 screaming kids to come to your work tomorrow, Jake, and just go, told you so.
Just be careful saying what you just said. You and children, I'm not sure that's allowed. I'm pretty sure you were named on a register a couple of weeks ago.
If you're going to throw accusations like that, caution to the wind, Jake, I would get your facts straight. I could leave for slander, mate. So those who throw stones, right? Those who live in glass houses, as you would say. So shall we get into it? Because we've had our little chat. It's good to see Lincoln won their game of football. Congratulations, you beat bottom of the league, mate.
Look at it. If you beat bottom of the league at home, you'd be like, it's another win, back-to-back wins. Some momentum. Come on, up the cards.
Harrington to home. 2-1 down. Big wild out, 4-2. Yeah.
I was there.
I know you was.
Great win.
Well done. And I'm just quoting what you said to me. You went, well done, you're just beating Harrington at home. Well done, you're just beating... Let's start off. Burton 0, Leyton Orient 4. Sorry, Burton have just drove past. Before this one, Leyton Orient have lost their previous 4. Now, they hadn't lost 5 away games on the spin for 9 years. So what goes and happens? Leyton Orient go to Gary Bellew's Burton Albion and score 4 goals. a ridiculous away win. Their third away win by 4 or more goals since the start of last year, more than any other team in the division. They scored 29 goals now this side. They've conceded 29. We branded them that they've conceded a lot of goals. They've been easy to play against, but yesterday it all came in. They've also scored in 15 of their games this year, so they're a high and praying side that they score in most games that they play. But also in the last 7, they're starting to sort things out now. They've won 4, they've drawn 1, and they've lost 2. So they've taken 13 points across their last 7 games, having only 11 points from the first 11. Now, we always brand Leyton Orient the first third of every season. They're probably averaging around about a point a game. And after that, they're probably high 1.8, 1.9 points a game. So they've got a lot of quality of this Leyton Orient side. Aaron Connolly now is the joint top goal scorer, but has also got the most goals / assists tied in this division, 12 goal contributions across 18 matches. If you want to go and put it into a more frantic form in terms of form, 5 goals, 4 assists in his last 9. Again, this is already his highest goal scoring price in his career. He's dropped down to League One. It was a shock. But Richie Wellens, 4 different goal scorers. Leyton Orient are starting, and we always say it, to put on a little bit of a show. If they'd lost that yesterday, they'd have been on 21 and potentially a -5 goal difference if they lost by 1 goal. And they would have been where Burton Albion are now. And Burton Albion would be where Wycombe are right now. They'd be, 11th. So that is the difference. We'll be talking about Leyton Orient being 2 places above the relegation zone, just 5 points above it. But because they won it, they're now 8 points clear. They've got a 0 goal difference, so they've cleared their arrays. And they're only 4 points off the playoffs. If you want to go so far, they're 5 points off 5th. In better form, Leyton Orient win their 7th game of the season, won 3 of the last 5. Leyton Orient putting on a show, Jake?
They were good, weren't they? And did you see the calibre of goals that they scored yesterday? Like that. Admittedly, Connolly is a bit of a joke for this level, right? And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Orient will finish." Well, I know David specifically was saying Orient will finish top 6. I speak with a lot of Leyton Orient fans. I don't think they think that he's going to be there beyond January. I think it was very much him stepping into a league far too low for him when he signed for Orient. So I'd be very surprised if they keep him post January, because he's really talented and far too good for this level. He's involved in both of the first 2 goals, a lovely goal, which I think Brad Collins will want to do a little bit better from. The header, delivered ball in from Connolly for Don Ballard. The 3rd goal is just outstanding, isn't it? Abdullahi. I mean, we've seen it in spells, haven't we, for Leyton Orient? I mean, I think you referred to it. Was it last week or the week before, Ben? We spoke about his hat trick that he scored away at Exeter in that 6-2 win last season. He's got technique for days. He's come through at Swansea where they're very big on technique, so I'm not surprised whatsoever. And the way he hit that is just, it's like an absolute, it's a joke. And it's a great performance from Leyton Orient. They were outstanding in every facet of the game. They defended well. They attacked clinically. And yeah, they're definitely, whether they're material for top 6 at the minute, I still think there's maybe a little bit of efficiencies I think you can get at them Leyton Orient. I feel like defensively is probably the weak point in their team. You look at that front 4 yesterday, very good. O'Neill, Wellens, Connolly, Ballard, with players like Karoma, Lloyd, Morehouse, Abiro coming on, Theo Archibald as well. It's just that defensively that Leyton Orient worry me a little bit, because when we saw it in the Cardiff game, didn't we? They do like to give away opportunities. And I think when they're playing against a more ruthless, better team than Burton Albion, I think those teams take their moments a little bit better. And perhaps the game state changes with those moments being taken. But take nothing away from Leyton Orient, a fantastic win for them. Burton, obviously, it's a first defeat in quite a while, it feels like, because they've had a good bit of a good uptick in form recently. And they'll be disappointed because they would have earmarked this down as one they could have won. But still, a very good point for Leyton Orient.
You mentioned Leyton Orient not conceding. They didn't concede a shot yesterday on target. That's everything you need to know. And I think that they're starting to get into the groove a little bit. I think the defensive prowess will come. They've got goals in the side. They're an exciting team to play. It's a great victory. To go away and win 4-0. That Abdullahi goal, by the way, the 3rd goal, I think is one of the best goals I've been in League One this season. It's an absolute scream. As soon as he hit it, I was like, And, David, not even I'm not having a dig here, but would have been right behind that. And
he was clapping it, he said.
Yeah, sometimes you just stand back and you go, what a goal. You know what I mean? I remember doing that for Lewis Wing. When he played for Reading at Highbury, I was like, he just struck back, hit it, and he just went into the top corner. Keeper just stayed there. I was like, wow, that is a goal. It helped that I was right behind it. It was a great finish. Burton Albion, no Webster for 2 months, 11 games without. Their next period is difficult. Burton Albion just need to weather the storm and keep picking up points over this next, set 8-week period, really. They look 19th. They play Wigan on Tuesday night, where a win could take them to 25 points, and I would see halfway to safety, which would be a great achievement in 18 games. Wigan is the spiritual home of the great escape of last year. Wigan haven't been great this year. Says all you need to know that both sides are on the same points. If Wigan were to win on Tuesday night, the same thing goes for them, that they could go all the way up to 10th with a 7-0 win. But realistically, they're probably only to 11th, aren't they? So you never know. Burton did concede 4 yesterday. You never know. They might be the charity that keep on giving, and now Bristol Rovers have left the division. But yeah,
below the belt, Benjamin. That one.
But I think with Burton, they just need to. If they can hit 30 points in the next 7 or 8 games, I think that'll be just keep averaging, ticking along. They are 6 points clear, but with that bottom 4, which we will get into, be very interesting. Me and Jake have had heated debates over the last month or so over Tom Cleverley. Still at Plymouth as of now. No League One side have lost more games than Plymouth this year, Jake, on 11. Sheffield Wednesday and Newport are the only sides in the top 4 divisions.
I'm waving me white flag. I give up. I give up defending Tom Cleverley. I've given up.
Yeah, only Newport and Sheffield Wednesday have lost more games. Plymouth won League One in 21-22. They won 31 games, right? They got 101 points. Since they got promoted, they've had 109 league games. They've won 29 of which. Granted, 92 of those games were in the Championship. You're not going to win as many games. But they're embarrassing. They are absolutely embarrassing. They look disorganised. We will praise Northampton very shortly, by the way. We will do a segment on Northampton because they fully deserve the victory. I think before I get into a tyrant about Plymouth, Northampton deserve full compliments for winning their 3-0, 3 great points and another clean sheet for them. I think that my issue is 2 of those goals that they conceded yesterday are simple crossing into the box. You're not marking your man. You're not picking up on second balls. I can watch sides, and I always try and put myself in the picture of being a supporter of that side, which works well for me because I seem to support 90 of the 92 English Football League clubs.
The only ones you don't support are Lincoln and who?
No, mate. I was going to say Grimsby and Mansfield, mate. But if you want to play those games, local affairs. I would go and say that there's no fight, there's no spark, there's no character, there's no endeavour. There's no one that is going to go and get you out of there. There's no grafters in there. They're all prima donnas. I think they're absolutely spineless in there, Plymouth. Plymouth Argyle fans don't deserve that. They're a hard-working football club, hard-working support base, massive football club, I think, at this level anyway. I think they're a sleeping giant in the English Football League. I generally do. You go down to Plymouth and there's not a lot around it footballing-wise. They support Plymouth Argyle. They work hard to go and watch the sides like most people do across the country. Plymouth are no different. But again, it's another abject performance. Tom Cleverley looks like a little boy. He's lost. The lad is lost. He's broken. I said this after a game a few weeks ago. His interview, he was, and we'll obviously have to turn it around, won't we? You need character. You need fighters. You need someone that's going to have thick skin and going to get you through it. You need someone that's a bit rough and ready. He's not. He just looks timid. He looks afraid. And he looks like a supply teacher dealing with, set 7. That's generally what he looks like. He's getting overrun in the dressing room. He's trying to be the mate. He doesn't want to call them out. Quite frankly, embarrassing. And it's another 3-0 defeat at home. Lawrence Alai getting himself sent off, I think, tells it all. Lack of discipline. He's just elbowed. Got himself sent off. What I will say, normally when you are your last game, there is normally a red card. Or there's something that happens in that game that there's a red card, you get battered, or the manager gets sent to stand, or something happens. But knowing this Plymouth Argyle board, I don't think they're going to sack him. I think they're going to stick with him. Derek Adams is just waiting to come in there, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And it does sound a little bit like they are going to give him to that 25 game mark that he was referring to in his press conference the other day. I think we actually referred to it last week, but yeah, I mean, it is difficult. And look, I thought Cleverley last year at Watford was ridiculously unlucky to get sacked. He had that Watford team playing. He had that Watford team playing some really good football, and he was victim to the fact that they are run by like the Italian clubs are, and they sack the manager every 2 to 3 working weeks. And I think when he signed, I think there's a lot of expectation, a lot of hope on him because he is such a promising young coach. And I now with a bit of hindsight, I can see what you mean in terms of he had, bless him, he has thrown himself into it. He's moved into the area. He's trying, right? It's very clear to me as an outsider that the guy is trying. He has tried to immerse himself in the culture. He's moved down there. He's trying to get close with the locals and he's trying to get on the side with the fans. But sometimes these things just don't work out. Sometimes environments just aren't the right ones for him. And I do feel like that might be... And bringing in Derek Adams, I think, while Plymouth fans might say that's a great move, just think of the pressure that puts on Tom Cleverley afterwards. Like, this is an experienced manager who has a CV of getting teams out of trouble. They've not started really well, and Argyle will expect to get promoted. Having him sitting above you, making the decisions, not knowing whether his intentions are to actually help you get out the mess, or does he want to pay packet and get back in to a role at probably a higher level than Derek Adams probably deserves to manage at anyway? So it's really difficult. And I don't think that decision's helped Tom Cleverley. Like, I'm a big fan of him. I think he's going to be a hit somewhere in his career. I think he's going to be a very good EFL manager. He knows the processes. He's learnt off some great managers. He's played under Fergie. He's played, he's a really bright head coach. But unfortunately, it hasn't worked. And yesterday, I watched the extendeds back. I thought, actually, I don't know if you took this from the game yesterday, Ben, as good as Northampton were, and we will praise them, right? Because obviously I'm a big Northampton fan, as we all know. I thought Plymouth were quite unfortunate yesterday. They created a lot, similar to what I said about Darren Moore last week, right? Plymouth Argyle yesterday, in this isolated game that I watch, and we don't watch them every week properly, like you watch Fleetwood and I watch Lincoln. Yesterday, they had chances. Barley Mumba has one that he should score. Hey?
What? Nothing.
Lawrence Alai has one that he could score. Plymouth had the chances to win that game yesterday. And had they taken those chances and got an early goal and knocked the stuffing out of Northampton, then maybe we're talking about Cleverley, not getting sacked or then being on a bit of a revival. So it's these... And this is pro football. It's such fine margin. Pro football is so fine margin. So, look, I'm a big fan of Tom Cleverley, but I will admit defeat. I was surprised when I went to bed last night that there hadn't been a corner flag come out from Plymouth Argyle because I was expecting him to go.
I agree. It is fine margins in football, but I think that if you're a Plymouth Argyle fan, you'd be absolutely raging right now, and you can understand why. It's Dross served up. You see the creative chances yesterday. They tested the goalkeeper once. He had one shot on target, Jake, at home against Northampton.
I know, but big chances don't always go on target, right?
No, they don't. But I mean, it spells again that you could say Northampton had a couple of opportunities in the game. Yes, you've got to take your chances, and you can't at the end of 46 games say, "Oh, in match week 18 against Northampton at home, we had chances. We were unlucky. It's fine." And you can see you've got to take your chances. you are judged predominantly game on game, right? Or how I like to do it when I watch my club, I look at it as 2-game periods. Okay, so I look at it as 2 games. Or if we have 3 games in a week, 3 games. So, for example, I'll give you at the last 3 games we played Swindon at home, we played Shrewsbury at home, and we played MK. I said 4 points will be a decent return. Fleetwood got 4 points out of those. Now you look at it again; they probably would have targeted 4 points from Vale away, and this one at home to Northampton, because you can't really go and get hammered. And they are conceding a lot of goals. They are creating opportunity. Fair enough, right? Put Vale in the XG target. Where are they in the points target? They're in the bottom 4, Jake. It doesn't really matter that you're creating opportunities. Lawrence like getting sent off says everything you need to know, lack of discipline. I do agree with you about Derek Adams. I think long term, I can see why they brought him back, because they brought a familiar face to appease the fans, the support base, because they love him. It did go a little bit rotten towards the end, to be fair. I don't know why I missed there. I'm not from Barnsley. Towards the end. And he obviously lost his job there. But you look at it and you think, I spoke to Adam Temple the other day, and he's been in a situation where there's managers behind him. It's hard when you're in trouble and there's a manager behind you. You think, you can only imagine how difficult that is, and he just looks lost. I agree. I think he'll do well, and this is no disrespect at all at a football club that predominant aim isn't just winning. Plymouth Argyle are disappointed if they don't go and win 7 out of 10. Let's be honest. Plymouth Argyle want to win 80% of the time, right? They want to obviously win all the percent, but they think they should be winning 8 out of 10 most weeks, like Bolton, like Cardiff, like Huddersfield, like Luton to an extent. Whereas I would say that he's probably in the mould of is he any worse than Conor Hourihane? I don't think so. But Conor Hourihane played for Barnsley. He's done well, obviously, this season and deserves humongous credit with that, and they're at 25 points. But I just feel that he's probably chosen, I know this is a Jamie Carragher meme, but he's probably chosen the wrong club to get the best out of him. And that's how I would see it. I would be very surprised if this went on, because it's at that stage now where the fans are toxic. Any move, any wrong sub, any backwards pass, any goal, you go 1-0 at home park, you're going to be there going, we've got these. The fans are going to get on it, and you're just waiting for them. The players are under humongous pressure, and they're crumbling. Northampton fully deserved 3 points yesterday. What I like about Northampton, they pick up a win when the chips are down. When there's been a bit of a bump in the road, they get a victory. They won. They lost back-to-back games. Then they got a victory. Then they lost last time out, 3-1 to Cardiff. Then they hit back with a win. They've won 3 and they've lost 3 in the last 3. They only had 1 point from the first 4. Since then, they've won 7, they've drawn 1, they've lost 5. We've mentioned like they scored 3 yesterday. They play for what they are. They are closer to the playoffs. They're in the bottom 4. Kevin Nolan's done a right job there and deserves humongous credit for what he's done in that football club, because I would say Northampton were on 90% of people's list for people's bottom 4. People's bottom 4, Jake, and we're going into another side that are in the bottom 4. Blackpool 0, Reading 3. Before this one, Reading had failed to win any of their last 9 league games away at Blackpool, losing 7 of which. And Blackpool have now just won 2 of their last 10 league games, conceding in every game. 1 goal in their last 6 consecutively, and 3 more yesterday at Bloomfield Road, as Bloomfield Road turned into Gloomfield Road.
Wow, that was good, mate. Actually, to be fair, I am fairly impressed with that. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this one, Ben, because I don't want to discredit Reading, similar to what we just done about Plymouth and Northampton, because I thought Reading were very good and took their moments when they came. I thought Kamari Doyle was outstanding. The lad who won the penalty, whose name I cannot pronounce for the life of me, the left winger who wears the number 11, he was outstanding. He caused Blackpool no ends of problems, won the penalty for the second goal, obviously got the assist for Randall Williams' goal as well. Sorry, for Kamari Doyle's goal in the first half. I thought Reading were decent. I thought Reading were really decent. And like I said, they took the moments. Blackpool were absolutely Blackpool were absolutely horrific. I mean, the defending for the goals is awful. Like, it's shambolic. I mean, they had chances in this game. Ashley Fletcher put one wide. There was one that Hayden Coulson that probably should have scored. But they just look awful, don't they, Blackpool? Like we said on FaceTime earlier today about, we were talking because we go there in a couple of weeks, and we were talking about me expecting not to get anything from them. But,
that's because you expect Blackpool.
Yeah.
You're in that mentality of Blackpool are better than the position shows. I'll get on to that in a minute and tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah, no, that's right. So, they're devoid of ideas, they're devoid of creativity. I'm not overly sure why, because I think the team that played yesterday, it's a really weird. It's this 3-5-2 shape where I'm not sure Evans is working as that holding midfielder. I know we've had conversations about him before. Honeyman just doesn't look like the player that he has been at this level. And they've got wingers. How many times have you said this, Ben, to me? Blackpool have got wingers in the team, like Scott Banks, CJ Hamilton, Emil Hansen, who was on. All three were on the bench. And he plays with wing backs, and he plays with Lyons and Coulson when his strength is to play with wingers. So, yeah, I don't know. No discredit to Reading, because I thought they were brilliant, and their goals were really good, really, really good. And that's a massive win for Liam Richardson, because you look at the table now, it puts Reading in that little conversation, doesn't it, with Mansfield, Northampton, Leyton, Orient, Wycombe, only 2 points behind Wycombe with a game in hand. And we're talking about Wycombe as a team that could well gatecrash the playoffs, and this Reading team could be above them, once they play that game in hand. So, yeah, a really good win. I think it's starting to show that Liam Richardson is having a positive impact since coming in. I think, 7 points from 3 games that he's taken charge of now. That's a really good return for Richardson. So, and you consider that he played Stevenage at home, tough game on a Thursday night, and Blackpool away. I think he'd be very pleased with life at Reading so far.
Liam Richardson over Ian Evatt reminds me a bit like me and you. Liam Richardson just owns Ian Evatt. He's just better. Just controls him. Just got him where he wants him. Liam Richardson always beats Ian Evatt. So I'll take that bar at 5-a-side when you beat me most of the time. In 17 games now, Blackpool. Now we're talking. It's not 7 games. I almost think
half a season.
I think 15 games now is time to talk. Where you are
40% of the season, though, Ben, isn't it? 17 games is 40% of the season.
Thanks to your mathematician, mate. Appreciate it. There was a reason.
I tried to flex my GCSE. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well done. I also got one, mate. Won't be surprised if you've been doing GCSE classes of your own recently. This was the 8th time Blackpool hadn't conceded. Sorry, the 8th time Blackpool hadn't scored. They haven't scored in 8 games. 50% of your matches. That is a huge chunk. That is a minimum of 16 points down the pan before you first start, because they are 2 points you cannot get from a draw into a victory, right? So now you're almost hooked, and Blackpool's tally being 51. I'll get onto some Vale in a minute. Where I keep going on about an example of Vale point tallies and what points you can get. That Blackpool only had 35 allocated to them. Blackpool are struggling down the bottom. They've taken 16 points. They've won 4 games. Now, Evatt was brought in, right? And I totally get the appointment long term, where they want to build and they want to be a top-end League One club. They've got the facilities in terms of budget, the stadium, the support base, the players to an extent. There's good players in there, but players that have been has-beens or ours, and there's not a lot of young quality coming through. There's not a lot of flair there. I worry for them because they've got a lot out injured. I know Niall Ennis is a big loss for them. Danny Imray is a big loss for them. There's several others that you can go through and name. Now, Blackpool will be looking at get to January, okay? What are you going to do in January? Are you going to go and sign another 3 or 4 players? Because I tell you something now, Blackpool have got a load of injuries coming back that are going to come back that you've signed on decent term contracts to attract to the football club as it is. Then you're going to have to put more players in. Carlisle did it in League 1 last season, League 2 last season, where they signed 11 or 12 players in January. They had a new squad. And then they had a massive overhaul of squad. Now they were in the summer. There are too many players that they had to get rid of. It's not sustainable. So Blackpool can't really go out and they're going to probably have to try and pick up a few loans and ask favours. But I look through it. If I go through their squad now, right, and I know this is going to be like, I'm not hammering them because they're Blackpool. I hammer Blackpool a bit more because I think Blackpool should be doing better, and Blackpool I think deserve better. That is why I'm hammering them. Peacock Farrell, to be fair, game on game was improved. To be fair to him, right? A Higway, don't get me started for the defending for the second goal. Horrific, right? Horsfall on a 4-year deal, by the way, at 28, I thought was ludicrous in the summer. I thought they were just throwing money at it at the wrong people. Casey has been solid enough, but he's not looked anything like of last season for him. I will say it now. People think Lee Evans is a great footballer at this level. I can categorically say every time I've seen him, I've not been impressed. I think he's lazy. I think he gets an assist, and you look at him and goes, oh, he's created a lot of chances. He doesn't really show any energy, right? Honeyman is a busy bee and he works hard, but has offered little.
It's not really his thing, though, is it, Honeyman? Honeyman should be the one that's playing that final ball, really, shouldn't he?
100%. Brown's a hard worker and he's a scrapper at this level. Leons and Coulson are 7s or 10s. Fletcher, to be fair to him, score goals, but needs help and needs people around him. And Bloxham is coming, never really hit him. But they mentioned about the bench. They had options on that bench, I say. Husband, Hampton, Hamilton, Banks, Ashworth. There's options there. Now, what strikes me there, Blackpool got a lot of wingers. Ever coming into a football club, you cannot implement your own formation, right, and completely change it that doesn't suit the players that you have got. A good manager would come in and think, right, I want to play 3-4-1-2 or 3-5-2. That is my long-term aim. But we're in a relegation battle. We are in danger of going down. I need to get through this season. If Blackpool finished 19th or 20th now, I think it'd be an achievement from this point. It wouldn't have been at the start, but it'd be an achievement at this point for what they've been through. Crisis management, Ian Evatt. So the first part of the season when you go in as a manager is crisis management. Blackpool are in the bottom 4, albeit they're not adrift by any means. They're close. They've improved. They're only a point away from Exeter are. But they really need to utilise the players that they've got. And then in the summer, go and recruit for your 3-4-1-2 and start from you cannot do that. That is where Ian Evatt will struggle. And that is where I think the break-off where Ian Evatt and Bolton last year, it wasn't working. He didn't change it. There's a stubbornness there. And yesterday they found it again. Bloomfield was absolutely, from all accounts, I wasn't there. I can confirm. I've got video footage of me at MK Dons. That's why I do these vlogs. Video footage of me at Bloomfield Road. Dead as dishwater. When Blackpool are at the best, Bloomfield Road is rocking. When how about Blackpool's wins this year? The fans have got them over the line. They give the fans nothing yesterday. They were awful. They looked done. They looked done. And Ian Evatt, I think if in 3 or 4 more games, obviously there won't be questions for him to get sacked. But if he doesn't change anything, he sticks with his formation. They keep losing. There'll be questions of this guy.
Well, there should be as well, like you say, because he's got that caliber, hasn't he, Ian Evatt, from his time at Bolton. But if your manager isn't effectively managing the players that he's got and he wants to completely rip it up and play it, it's clear that this system's not working and he wants to try something completely different that you're going to have to end up shelling a load of money out for. You are going to question whether you're going to put the club in financial trouble by signing a load of players, like you mentioned with Carlisle. They ended up signing 11 players in that January, and now look at them. They're in the National League where the financial rules maybe aren't as strict. But I just think this Blackpool season's been a car crash from start to finish. 4 wins in 18. This is a team, Ben, that last year could have finished in the playoffs on the final day. Like both of these teams could have finished in the playoffs on the final day, and quite frankly, the standards at Blackpool have slipped so far. I'm really surprised. I mean, I think everyone saw the signings that they made in the summer: Del Taylor, Niall Ennis, Fraser Horsfall. It reminds me so much of everyone looking at Rotherham the year before. Do you remember when they were signing Clark Harris and Reece James and
signing in the late 20s?
Yeah, and it gives me them vibes. But I every inch of me just thinks Blackpool, like, like you said, with perception of Blackpool, they're gonna turn it around because they've got some good players in there.
On the Blackpool.
But they're not. They've got no confidence, and players that play with no players who have confidence play 2 or 3 times what their current ability is. Whereas those that play without it, you look devoid of ideas, and you end up with what Blackpool are going through at the moment. So, look, Matt, it can't be understated more. Big credit to Reading yesterday because they were outstanding, and that Kaiwara fellow was mustard. But Blackpool are in a real hole, and I don't know what the answer is for them because they would have expected to at least finish in the playoffs this year, I would assume.
Yeah, I think I'm not helping myself here with the accusations and the old evidence, but
the passionate rant.
Say again.
The passionate rants about your beloved.
No, I generally think the support base at Blackpool, when they need something or they are chasing for something, will get them over the line. I think they'll be okay. I think when they get the injured players back, they'll be okay. But I think at this moment in time, he never shown his vulnerabilities. I'll say that now. I think full credit, mate. Again, must go to Reading. They become the 24th and final team to join the list for League One away wins. They finally won a football match away from home. Well done. They drew 4 and lost 3 on road. 8th time lucky for the Royals. 7 points across 3 games under Liam Richardson, as Jakey pointed out before. 11 points across the last 5. 3 wins, 2 draws. Kept 3 clean sheets in that time. They had 11 points in the first 12. They have doubled their points tally in less than half their games. So it's starting to turn good for the Royals, for Blackpool. More misery. Keep your comments coming. Keep letting us know on your team. Keep your comments coming. We will read them out throughout the show. Again, are Blackpool good enough to stay up? Obviously, time will tell. Generally, when he gets into the running, the likes of Ennis will close to safety, says Jacob. I think we're the last one in the entire AFL. Have Wednesday won away? Yeah, they have. They won away at Pratt Park.
Won away at Pompey.
Yeah, you must be there.
We shouldn't laugh at that, should we? We shouldn't laugh at that.
Won away because they won away at Bristol Rovers. Newport have won away. Yeah, you are. You are indeed. There you are. Oh, what a guy. Sam Cummins. What a guy. Lincoln fan. I've always liked Lincoln. Always liked Lincoln.
He was on the pitch yesterday.
Was he?
Here, Wigan, the manager. I should hope not.
Giving him tips?
Yeah. I'm not sure anyone will be taking tips off Cummins.
Just football, isn't it? I've been living around as a Reading fan after yesterday. Need some feedback, though. I think it goes in.
There we go. You fell for that one.
I did. Fair enough. You've got me. I was like, can't be rude and guy. Rub that off.
I can't believe people are singing about moving up to 17th in the league. That's horrific. Come on. 16th. Okay. Apologies.
Yeah. Cardiff 3, Mansfield 0, Jake. Cardiff's 32 points across this season after 16 games. Is their highest since the 2010-11 season, where they win the championship, where they finished 4th. 7 wins from 10 games versus the sides from 13th downwards. Cardiff are quite effective against those bottom half sides. Another victorious outcome. Haven't played at home since the start of October. Another great victory for BBM side.
Yeah, it was. And I think they didn't really have to get out of second gear to beat Mansfield, who basically set up in a 5-4-1 shape to try and contain and try and get out of Cardiff with a 0-0. But this Cardiff team, as we mentioned previously before, has got far too much quality. I mean, nearly half of their shots they got on target yesterday. I thought they were good. Saleh was fantastic. Apakio again. Young Ashford coming on and scoring as well. Yeah, they do. They're effective against teams down the bottom, aren't they, Cardiff? And I don't know whether that's this whole aura that they've got. They're a big club coming down from the Championship. I don't know whether that helps. Sometimes it can add pressure, but they are very much clearly in front of a lot of teams in this league. And we wouldn't be surprised if we don't get to know Cardiff that well, because we're not expecting them to be in the league for much longer. What I will say is that when Mansfield did have the odd foray forward, they were coming up against a brick wall in Nathan Trott. They had a really good save down to his left-hand side, one-handed stop, similar to one that Rob Sanchez made for Chelsea against Arsenal earlier on this afternoon. But yeah, they are the good, aren't they? Brian Barry Murphy's worked his magic, worked his philosophy into this team, and when they're bringing on players like Chris Willock and Joe Colwell and Amari Kellerman, who went for £20 million, and Robertson, who I don't know, I keep hearing a little man talk about him all the time and how good a footballer he was a couple of years ago. They're a bit of a joke, aren't they? I didn't even realise this until I watched the highlights. They've got David Turnbull in midfield, who was a wonder killer at Motherwell, who went to Celtic for big money, and he's a fantastic little footballer. So a really good win for them. They're very effective against teams who want to sit in against them. They move. The thing with BBM style of football is they move the ball so much, they wear the opposition out, and it's often late in games where they do end up doing the damage. I mean, it was Northampton the other week, wasn't it, where they killed the game off with that goal in the last minute. Yesterday, they would have worked the ball side to side, knackered Mansfield out, and then took advantage. 2 late goals, 2 goals in the last 20 minutes from Alex and Ashford. So, really good win for Cardiff, and they're top of the league. And, I feel like they've not even clicked yet, and they're top of the league.
Yeah, agree. I feel like we've not even seen them at the best, and that's full compliments to him. I tell you what, I think Yusuf Salek deserves humongous credit. I think they signed him in January, didn't he? He got 8 in 20 back end of last year. He's already got 8 in 22, 7 in 16 in the league. You look at it overall, he's got 17 across 44 games in all competitions for him. Young, 23, Danish, coming across here. He's done well, and more expectation in League One maybe than the Championship. Obviously, his goals needed to keep them up. Last year they didn't. As a team, they weren't obviously good enough over the 46 games. That was proven because they got relegated. And then now his aim is to get promoted. And when your goals are getting you promoted rather than keep you up, there's more pressure to get you promoted than keep you in the division. Let's be honest about it. But they've got goals from all over. Turnbull, excellent yesterday. Bagan yesterday. Fish, another good performance. Ashford was outstanding. They just put in a good performance, and they are so good, especially at home. They've only failed to score in 1 home game this term against Burton. I can't believe Burton went there and won. That's this division, though.
I thought they lost to Bradford 3-0, didn't they? 3-1. 3-1.
I think it was 3-1, yeah. So it's a great. It's Wales 3-1. A great victory for the Bluebirds. For Stags, 3 losses in a row. Read anything into that, Jake?
Oh, you tell me, because I quite like Mansfield, team-wise, not as a club. All right.
Yeah, one was to Huddersfield. Don't get me wrong. The other to Northampton.
I don't think I'm too worried about Mansfield. I think that they are exactly where I expected them to be this season. Poor lad having a bit of a coughing fit.
Flu.
He got the flu. I had the flu last week, so maybe I passed it on through the live stream last week, and now you've got it. Good luck, because it's absolutely minging. I'm not too worried about Mansfield at this minute in time. I think they're 3 defeats in a row. It's a run that you end up going on throughout the course of a season, isn't it? And Huddersfield and Cardiff were 2 tough games in that run, like you mentioned. They've been very effective against bottom half teams, I think, Mansfield. And they're much better at home than they are away, aren't they? So, and 2 of those games came away from home, so I wouldn't be too worried. But I don't know about Mansfield. They're much more they're more flatline this year, aren't they, Mansfield? Whereas this year, Mansfield were like this and like this and like this and like this. Whereas now, Mansfield are much more consistent and more flatline. So, I think they're much happier where they are now.
If you could all leave a like on the stream, subscribe if you haven't down below, that would be appreciated. Doncaster 2, Peterborough 1. Before this, Doncaster failed to win any of their last 10 matches, losing 7 of whom, with their last 7 defeats, as many in their previous 40 across League 1 and League 2. Big win for them, because they've not been keeping clean sheets. They did last week. They got that off the neck. They finally won. 4 points now from Stevenage and Peterborough. Now, that's a really good turn. The 6th win, 5 of whom have come by that 1 goal, leading for a good chunk of that game. Good win for Doncaster. They just need it, because if they lost that, they would have been well and truly sucked into that relegation battle and just been 3 points above. But getting that victory and getting 4 points from it has made it look a little bit cushy. Now Doncaster just need to go on, and that bottom half sides just need to keep getting points. I need to target 30, 35 and get to 50 as quickly as they can. They've won a third of the games, Doncaster, so it's not been disastrous. It's just how it's been spaced out. If it was spaced out a little bit differently, I think we'd be talking about Doncaster. But they've got Chesterfield back-to-back now in different competitions, home and then an away leg. And then they've got Stockport, Cardiff, Plymouth could be a different complexion. Bloomfield Road against Blackpool on Boxing Day, and Stockport away. Some tricky ties for Doncaster Rovers.
Yeah, there are, but I think they could probably be saying they should be walking away from the last 2 games with 6 points rather than just the 4, because I thought they could have won away at Stevenage last week. They had the chances to do so. And yesterday, I thought they were good. Jordan Gibson proving why. I don't know what it is about Jordan Gibson. He only ever turns up when the away end is sold out at the Keepmoat. He did it against Bradford. He's done it against Peterborough.
Against Bolton as well.
Yeah, he took it. I think they took 2,000 to be fair to the Peterborough fans. Pretty much their entire home gate, bless them. No, I'm joking. We don't call out attendances on this channel, but yeah, Jordan Gibson done really well.
Off. I'm sick of it. I'm going to get onto that. I've got a rant about attendance, please, in a minute when we get to Stevenage.
Don't worry, it was only to see if you reacted.
Of course, it was.
Yeah, I thought Doncaster were decent. I thought they created chances. Jordan Gibson takes them really well. Peterborough, bar a Harry Leonard effort that flew into the corner, didn't create a huge amount. I don't think it wasn't really a sexy, good game of football. It was attritional. Both teams were fighting hard. The conditions, I think, along with all games that we've spoken about and we'll continue to speak about tonight, the conditions didn't really help for really nice football, did it? It was wet, windy, difficult to really play. And as we know, Peterborough United like to play sexy football on the floor, as do Doncaster Rovers under Grant McCann, to be fair. So, yeah, it is a good win because, like you say, they were starting to stumble towards the bottom 4. That now opens up a 6-point gap over Peterborough, which I think is massive for them psychologically as well. Easy for me to say.
That was me. Getting.
Eh?
That was me. I'll be getting.
Can you pronounce psychologically in one go?
Pronounce what?
Psychologically. There you go. Look.
Psychologically.
Yeah, he's done it twice in a row. Look, now he's showing me up.
Psychologically.
Psychologically. You got a bit too cocky there, Nappers.
A bit like Lincoln when he went top of the league. Lost to Wycombe.
I'm not going to bite at that. Yeah, so I think winning that game of football, taking their chances will be a massive plus to them. Peterborough, like we say, still improvement under there. I know they lost midweek against Stevenage. I thought they were pretty hard done by. But a worse performance yesterday. But yeah, a great win for Donny Rovers. It now, puts them back in that mix, doesn't it? With Wigan, with Burton and teams like that. So yeah, a good win for Grant McCann's side. Always nice to get one over your former employer as well, and no doubt.
Honeymoon period over for Peterborough, back-to-back losses. Some horrific defending for the goals in there as well.
Yeah.
Lincoln 1, Port Vale 0, Jake. We'll tackle Lincoln first. Lincoln's second best home form in League One. 6 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. Only failed to score in 1 home match this season, and that was Exeter. Lincoln, 26 points at this stage last year. You got 31 now. However, you went to lose game week 18, and sorry, 17 and 18 last year. So you had 26 points after 16 games and lost 17 and 18, so you're on a bad run. It took you 21 games for you to hit 31 points last year, but then you lost your next 3. So you're at the same point of points, but 6 games less. It's not bad going, is it? And you feel very decent, in my opinion, against the sides that you feel win. Bar Exeter. Good win for you, Jake. 1-0 against the mighty Port Vale, who sit 24th. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, pal. Well done. Not scored for 6 matches, so Well done, pal.
Thanks.
You've won a League One fixture. Well done, pal.
Yeah.
Been a while since we won one, so well done, pal.
I'm getting a hint of jealousy from some quarters of this call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you had to play Port Vale in the Vroom Vroom Vars, didn't you? You don't get to play them in the league. In the Vroom Vroom Vars, you're not good enough to play them in a league fixture. Yeah, the one thing I will give credit to Michael is Michael has made us very good. Has made us a much better home team. I've spoken to you before about how alarmingly bad our home record is, and then you tell me about how bad your record was against for Fleetwood, and it makes me feel a little bit better. But I do. He has made us very good at home, like you say, second best home record in the league this year. Very good at beating teams that we should be beating, certainly on home soil, and that has probably been the difference as to why we probably haven't finished in the playoffs as many times as we would have liked. But yesterday we were effective. We weren't great. I still have doubts over and questions over some of the substitutions. I thought, we moved the ball. The one time we moved the ball around really quickly, we got the goal, and we didn't do it again at all. We ended up going to 5 at the back and trying to hold on in the second half, because first half we maybe could and should have had a couple of
wind?
Hey,
anything to do with weather/wind?
Wind? No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think it was that
not your
bad.
Wind, obviously.
Well, no need for there was no need for any of that. But yesterday, I thought, when we did move the ball quickly and having Jack Moylan, and I said it at the back end of last week, just massively helps because he's direct and he wants to run at players and take them on, and that's where the goal comes from. And it is a good finish from Rico Hackett. It is a really good finish into the top corner. Read to the wine, doing exactly what he likes.
Sorry, just interrupt you.
Of course, you can.
You made a great point last week. Was that strike of I'm fed up, I'm annoyed, I've not been given my opportunity.
I told you.
Sit back, and do you reckon that he's been released? He came on, obviously maybe didn't get the fruits for what he did last week because he came on and affected the game, and really kind of turned the momentum. And then obviously that throwing leads into a corner, obviously, and Wycombe score. But do you reckon that goal was coming a little bit because of the way he was? And I think it'll doing well, so him scoring the winner as well, 1-0 outside the box. Hopefully, he can go on a little bit of a run now.
Hopefully for Rico's sake, because we've seen it. I
sound like a Lincoln fan. Oh my god! Sue, what have you done to me, Sue?
I remember that run that we went on in 23-24, where, as everyone knows, we finished in the playoffs, where Rico played really, really well as a wing back, and I think we could see that again playing off the left hand side, which is where he's naturally preferred. He has been tried on the right and in the 10, and it doesn't quite work. But he played on the left yesterday. I thought he was much better. And it's a good goal. It is. It's a well-worked goal. They completely catch Port Vale out, and it's a great strike into the top corner, right? So I think it's positive. What I didn't like I mentioned, is the fact we did try and sit back. But it's a win, isn't it? It's a win against a team in the bottom of the league, but you've got to win those games. They are banana skins. A lot of Lincoln fans would have come into yesterday going, well, Port Vale at the bottom of the league. We know what's coming. 1 shot on target, 1 goal for Vale. But to be honest, they never really got anywhere. They have 1/2 chance, I think, where George Hall heads it into the ground and George Wickens makes a save. But apart from that, again, I may have to surrender, but they were just tepid. They were really tepid, Port Vale. I think it was part of our game plan. We gave them the ball. Because it's one game that I've seen, right?
They've not scored for 6. League after 17 games. Screw this with your one game. Right. Oh, he won promotion with a League One All-Stars. Oh, Pep Guardiola won a Premier League. Oh, we spent £1 billion.
Yeah. Is Pep Guardiola not one of the best managers in the world?
He is, but given Port Vale squad, would he do anything with it?
Yes, of course he would. Good managers can transfer their skills over leagues.
That's why I got Darren Moore. There you are.
He is a good manager.
Would you want your club if Skabala went?
Eh? He's not a Lincoln type, mate. We prefer.
Skabala got sacked.
We appoint nobodies. We appoint nobodies.
No.
We appoint nobodies.
No. We judge managers, and your exact quote, right? And you can go back to that video. Was I'd like to judge this on how would I feel if this manager got announced at my club tomorrow morning. You said that exactly because I remember it, right? So how would you feel if Darren Moore got appointed Lincoln? Oh, no, because he's Lincoln and shot me. Oh, what a gaffer.
Got promoted out at this level. What a boy. Yeah, they were tepid. They were really poor. I thought he got his team selection wrong, which obviously I was very ecstatic about. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't create. I also think as much as Port Vale didn't create anything, I think that's partly because Lincoln are quite good at defending, certainly at home, and there were no really helter-skelter moments from a Lincoln point of view. So, yeah, 3 points. I'm not massively. I'm not jumping off the seat about it. We should have won we should have won the game, and we did win the game. So it's it's just routine 3 points at home, mate. 3 home wins, straight home wins, which is good. So we're happy.
Port Vale now not scored in 11 of their matches, which is a concern, but obviously it's not a concern because
I'm not concerned about it.
Yeah,
well, that means one team. That's one spot at the bottom 4 gone. That's why I'm not concerned about it.
Well, you're not going down. Shut up. Get over yourself. Stop making it all about you anyway. So they've only scored in 7 games. Now I'm a big believer in Port Vale will only have a certain amount, but there's 138 points to play for at the start of the season. But you can write off a lot of those points for Port Vale. Now, realistically, I would say Port Vale probably for about they're probably in about 25 games a season where you feel they can win or get a point, right? I feel Port Vale will probably lose 20 games a season. That's 26, 78 points. Port Vale then need to go and be effective. Well, again, in 11, you've wrote off 22 points. That's an issue. You're not scoring enough goals. They're not conceding a lot, but they don't create anything. There's bad team selection. There's baffling substitutions. Devante Cole's goals are dried up. I did say it would happen. I think Devante is good for a few games, but then he'll fizzle out. He's getting into some good areas, but they just look one-dimensional, and they feel like he plays on a togetherness and a spirit and a play for me and we'll get you better type of thing. But it's embarrassing now. They've not scored in 11 games. They scored 1 goal in the last 8, Jake. 1 goal in the last 8. They're not even being solid at the back most of the time. Yes, they're conceding 1, but it's a sloppy goal that they're conceding. They're losing too many fine margin football matches. They're 3 points adrift, but they look as gone as you won't believe. If I was Carol Sharman now, Port Vale fans won't like me for this, and I'll probably lose total respect for them. But I'd be thinking of appointing one of Darren Ferguson or Steve Evans, someone that knows this division. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly, and you're probably not going to like. You won't like Steve Evans as an appointment, but they'll keep you up, in my opinion. You'll get something out of them. You'll get a reaction, and I don't feel like the players are playing for Darren Moore. I genuinely don't. I feel they've got too many passengers in that squad not fighting for the badge.
Yeah, because if you look at it, I think a lot of their players on paper are fairly, they're fairly gifted players. Like Devante Cole knows where the net is at this level. Jane Stockley has scored goals at this level for Fleetwood and for other teams as well. He had a decent career with Preston, and he was at Exeter and he scored goals there. So I think they do have decent players in their team. I just couldn't put my finger on it yesterday. I think speaking to you now has maybe put my finger on it. It's that confidence thing, isn't it? We spoke about players playing with confidence, playing 2 or 3 times what they are. These Port Vale players look like they're playing in and amongst themselves a little bit. They're not making that risky pass. They're not making that extra run to try and stretch the game, or they're not doing the things that get over these fine margins that we've spoken about with football being so fine margin before. So yeah, I think it's difficult. I think you're right. I think Steve Evans probably would be the one out of those 2. I'm not sure Fergie would.
You know something back. I think as well. This will sound mad. Like Steve Evans deservedly deserves a lot of plaudits for his weight loss. I think a lot more people, because now he's not big Steve Evans, you take Steve Evans just because he lost a bit of weight.
No, I still hate him.
Not crediting. I don't think he'll have pleasant things to say about you either. Not crediting his football and managerial abilities. That he's better when he's the underdog. Stevenage, Rotherham first time. He's always good when he's the underdog, and he likes working with a good chairman, right? he worked with a good chairman at Stevenage. McAnthony is a decent chairman at Peterborough. I always remember Tony used to always tell me he used to speak to him, and he used to always call Andy the chairman. He always liked Fleetwood's, how they were run. And I'd take Steve Evans at my football club, believe me. If Pete Wild was to leave tomorrow, it'd probably be, if I think about it, it'd probably be my first choice, Steve Evans. I know that is baffling, it's just come to my head. But I think he'd keep him up. I think he'd get a reaction out of him.
Yeah, because he'd strip it back to basics, wouldn't it? And they'd be hard to beat, they'd be nasty, they'd be physical. And Port Vale are going to be underdogs in a lot of games now between now and the end of the season, purely because where they are in the league. So, yeah, I think the Steve Evans shout is quite a good one, actually, Ben, from you.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Should we move on from Lincoln? Because not everything's about Lincoln.
I've not spoken about Lincoln for like 5 minutes. So
new record, yeah. Bradford 1, Exeter 0. Similar with Exeter, another fine margin game of football. Lost 5 of the lost 9 games this year, 5 of which have been by 1 goal. So 8 of the 10 have been by 1 goal this year. Which, if you can just get nick a point in 4 of those, the 4 points better off. They had opportunities yesterday. Wareham had a couple of chances. But only Arsenal and Coventry have lost fewer games than Bradford. Another win for the Chickens, Jay. Back to winning ways. First win in 7.
Yeah. Although, admittedly, I think we spoke about a very comfortable 1-0 win just now. This was anything but a comfortable 1-0 win for Bradford. Exeter, to their credit, played really well and probably should have got something out of the game. They had a goal disallowed. They had some really good say. I think it says a lot when Sam Walker, the home team goalkeeper, gets man of the match. But yeah, I thought Exeter could be really take a lot of positives. I thought they moved the ball around really quickly and caused Bradford issues. But again, Bradford they seem to be able to do it at Valley Parade. They just pluck out moments, and it's a great finish and a great cross from Max Power for Wright, who sticks it past the goalkeeper pretty emphatically. And that was about it from a Bradford point of view. I thought they didn't come forward. They didn't go forward a massive amount. They kind of sat back on that goal a little bit. I think their fans would be disappointed with that because they would have felt Exeter were probably there for the taking a little bit. When you score that early in the game, you think, right, go and get 2, go and get 3 and really make it convincing. A little bit like what Cardiff did against Mansfield. But to their credit, Exeter, we heaped praise on Gary Caldwell the other week, didn't we, when we did that video? I thought they deserved a lot of credit yesterday, and they probably deserved to walk out of there with a point, the chances they created. So, yeah, I think it was. I think the wording on this article here says they edged past Exeter City. Yeah, and that is exactly what they did, because Exeter probably deserves something from the game.
I agree. I think Exeter sometimes win games that they probably shouldn't, and then don't win games that they shouldn't. They don't win or get a point in games that they shouldn't. Deserve the point, yes, they didn't get it. I think that you saw. I was not calling it luck, but Bradford are riding it a little bit. They're riding momentum. They've done very well this season and deserve humongous credit for what they've done. But Exeter didn't get the luck because they're down there, and Bradford got the luck because they're up there. It happens. You had a goal disallowed, Wareham misses a 1-on-1. It just happens across the season when your luck is in, and your luck's out. But good win for Bradford. They're a good side. They're solid. They keep clean sheets. I really like them. Look, they had one in 6 matches before. They drawn 5, which was second place, who was Stevenage, 4th place, who were Bolton, who were Lincoln City, 6th place were Bolton Wanderers. Then Derby Day draws against Barnsley and Rotherham. So it's not disastrous. Of those, you probably would have taken a point against. Realistically, you'd have taken it at Stevenage and Bolton away, and probably Rotherham. The 3 home games you probably wanted to aim to probably win at least one of which. Then it would have been seen as better. But I can see it as they're not losing games of football, which is good. They've only lost 2 games. They've lost twice to Doncaster in like the last 22 league games, something like that. But that's it. They just seem to get the victories. An absolute treat late now. Huddersfield 3, Wimbledon 3. Wimbledon went up once, twice, and 3 times in their first competitive meeting between Huddersfield and AFC Wimbledon. The Terriers winning 5 of their 7 home games against newly promoted sides. This one was a draw, though. First point in 4 for the Dons. They just needed it. It's another point towards where they want to be, and that's safe. 26 points now after a bit of a bump in the road. Goal thriller, and they'll feel scoring 3 at Huddersfield and coming away with just a point. They'll be a little bit gutted with, but they show character, endeavour. Goal scorers getting on the score sheet. Good point overall. They'd take it at the start of play, wouldn't they?
Oh God, yeah.
And they're tied on points. It just tells you everything you need to know that they're tied on points. Huddersfield squad to Wimbledon squad, the budgets, the fan bases. So good to see again that always the biggest budget or the biggest squads don't always win it, or biggest fan bases.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought 2 players stood out when I watched the extended back of this game. Castledine for Huddersfield I thought was brilliant. Again, I really liked him last year at Shrewsbury. I thought he was fantastic for them and a team that didn't create a lot. You put him around better players, he ends up playing a lot better. I thought he was really good yesterday. His movement, his finish for the goal was really good as well. So yeah, Leo Castledine goes from strength to strength in this Huddersfield team. And he's probably one that when they signed him, they probably thought, oh, we signed a kid on loan from Chelsea that didn't play a lot played a little bit for Shrewsbury last year. Probably going to be a bit of an impact player, but a bit like what they did with Feeney, I suppose, your mate Feeney. But they've both become mainstays of the team, and he's done really well and a really good goal yesterday. And then for Wimbledon, I thought Steve Seddon was outstanding. He's left-footed, but he played right back. He set 1 goal up. Thought Danilo Orsi was really good as well. He obviously scored. I think we have to speak about a couple of mistakes. Certainly from Owen Goodman, obviously ex-AFC Wimbledon, maybe trying to do his mates a favour or whatever. But that second goal is not good enough from Owen Goodman. And I know, speaking with...
Made a mistake on Tuesday night as well.
Yeah, speaking to Mr. Jessup, the Huddersfield fan, he basically says that Nichols is probably due to come in and take his space anyway. But he was really good last year in League Two, Owen Goodman, wasn't he?
Best goalkeeper in the league, I thought.
I remember when we went and watched him.
Oh, you looked at it. Him and... Simkin. Simkin were the best 2. And they both struggled in League One this year. Bass has been injured, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, Bass was good in League Two last year. But
he's been in League One before, Bass. I see him in League One. He was at Portsmouth and Sunderland, wasn't
he? Yeah. But a really good... Yeah, I think he played really well. Did Seddon and Orsi as well. So, yeah, I thought Wimbledon deserved a point from it. I didn't think Huddersfield cut them open 10 times, which is quite surprising when you look at the array of riches. They needed a 86th minute equaliser from Alfie May to rescue anything from it, which I don't know if that tells you. It feels like with Huddersfield, they take 1 step forward and they take 2 steps back all the time. And they took a step forward. They went on that, they beat Mansfield. And then they had this week where they've got an opportunity to get into the top 2 and they go and fluff the lines at Luton. And they drop points at home to AFC Wimbledon, a team that got promoted through the playoffs in the league below last year. So feels like Huddersfield, like I say, just 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's a real shame, but don't knock the AFC Wimbledon. It's a great point for them on the road.
But they played well. 25 shots, 10 on target, dominated the game. They'll think AFC Wimbledon at home should win that, but they're a tough nut to crack at Wimbledon. They are like the Bromley, aren't they? Bromley in League Two, when I watched that, they are frustrating. Huddersfield are moving, starting now in the right direction. They just need to keep picking up points. You feel that the game against Cardiff could be a big game. I mean, they can go and win there, put up a statement. Might be a good win for them. Northampton away. They go and get 7 out of the next 3, or even go and get 8 out of the next 4 leading into Christmas, and you'll get to 34 points by Christmas Day. I think it'll be a good return, to be fair. Moving on quickly now as we kind of wrap up through the games across League One. Luton against Bolton, I believe, is our next game that we turn our attention to. 2 good sides that you probably would put on for promotion at the start of the year. Carl Dempsey's 8th-minute strike got the Wanderers on the way. Really nice turn and finish. And then Bolton were down to 10 men. Javier Simmons getting a second yellow card for a crunching tackle.
Silly boy.
Silly on a yellow card. Bolton was scrapping then and digging in. They only scored with the 1 shot on target. You're thinking decent away performance, away at a tough place to go with the Kenny when the lights are on and the crowd gets up. Kadua pokes home, and Luton went a little bit more direct, asked questions. Shaden Morris down the right-hand side asked a few questions, got a ball into the box. Ali flicked on to Kadua, who's done well for Luton. Good finish. And then I think overall it's a point Bolton fans would have taken at the start. Their away form, they want to get better. but 7 wins, 7 draws, 3 defeats. They're a tough nut to crack, Bolton. Not many have beaten them. They went through the tough period a few weeks ago, but they progressed, through that, and they've got through it. And now they're moving in the right direction again. That Mansfield away on the Tuesday night coming up is the game where I just worry for them a little bit, because I think it's a type of banana skin on a Tuesday night where they're going to lose 2-1. If they're going to win there, beat Exeter, get a point away at Wycombe going into Christmas, I think it'll be a good return. Luton, they're very close to play, but they haven't been great. They won 2-1 on Tuesday night in a good victory over Huddersfield. I watched parts of that game. They've won 8 games, but they've also lost 7. They've scored 21, but they've also conceded 22. They're just a little bit hit and miss. They're around about the 1.5 points a game mark, which is a low mark for the playoffs. That tells you everything, how spread out it is. I feel like Luton are just a 3 or 4 game winning spree away, Jake.
Yeah. Like you say, Ben, I think it's a good point for Bolton, isn't it? Based on Luton. I think they've been decent since Wilsh has come in. They've certainly won a handful of games since his arrival. But yeah, a decent point for Bolton. They'll be disappointed that, they're 1-0 up, 10 minutes to go, admittedly down to 10 men, but they were wanted to see that game out. They made the changes to do so. Obviously, they brought on players to run the clock down. Richard Taylor came on, Ethan, Force came on, Dolby as well, just to try and slow the clock down. But unfortunately for them, Luton, Gideon Kadua, who we know has got a pass with Matt Bloomfield from his spell at Wycombe Wanderers last season. He's come on and impacted the game. I think he was the one that was fouled by Xavi Simons for the card, and he ended up scoring the equaliser. But this has been a good week for Luton. Beating 4 points from Huddersfield and Bolton at home. I think you definitely have taken that for Jack Welsh's team. But yeah, I think it's a good point. Like you say, the point to the top 6 at the minute, 1.5 points a game is ridiculous. It's genuinely the fact that Luton are sat in 7th with 27 points from 18 games.
It's alarming, isn't it?
Tells you everything.
Pete Wild always bangs on about 1.5 points. I don't know if you've noticed how many bumps in the road. I'm not even meaning to do it. I'm just using it. Using his Pete Wild's cat. 1.5 points. Cat bumps in the road. Progressing nicely. Moving in the right direction.
You've been listening to Pete Wild too much, mate.
Listen to his interviews every week. He's a great guy. Top. It's a good point for Bolton, that. Like I said, I think Bolton is starting to show that they're a nasty team. They're a Stephen Schumacher team, which I like. Stockport won, Barnsley won, Jake. Stockport's, again, 1 point from the last 3. They found a way. Former Imp and Codman, Callum Connolly with a late goal. They were just kind of stretching at the end. They weren't great, Stockport. Barnsley had early pressure, had a few chances in the first half. But again, it was the 2 young lads that have come from nowhere. Cleary, obviously, and Young and Nathan were in the National League last year. Coming to Barnsley's side, Young and Nathan was on loan from Barnsley. He's had a really good season, the young lad, and scored a couple of good goals. And was part of that promotional with Oldham. And finishes from Cleary's cross. Stockport took away to a point. Disappointing for Barnsley, because if they'd won away at Stockport, it would have been a hell of a statement, and they would have been there just a point outside the playoffs. For Stockport, since I said they're going to win the league, they've not won. So, yeah.
No, it's your fault then, mate, isn't it? But, I do completely agree. I thought it was a game of 2 hours, really. I thought Barnsley in the first half were good. Reyes Cleary was an ever-present outlet on the left-hand side. He caused no end of issues for Connolly. Turned him inside out, put a couple of balls in. There's an opportunity where Davis Keeler-Dunn should have scored. I was watching this slightly before being picked up before the game on yesterday because you were 12:30, so I imagine you missed it. But I thought they were good in the first half, and that goal was probably coming. Young and Nathan, really good third man run into the penalty area, lovely finish. You couldn't really miss. And then second half, Stockport came at them a little bit more. They threw it on. They were a little bit more direct. Fevrier was growing a little bit more in his influence of the game, and I thought they ended up getting the point they deserved. They had a couple of opportunities that flashed across goal, but the goal definitely was coming. It was a good goal from Connolly, who had to step up. I think in terms of the experience on the pitch, he's probably the most experienced player there, for bar the goalkeeper, who's played a lot of football in the national league and below. probably the most experienced name on that team sheet, EFL wise, for Stockport. So using that experience to come in and score that goal. But yeah, it would have been a statement for Barnsley, but it's a really, I think it's still a good point to get a point away at Stockport. I know you're be gutted, you're 5 points, you're 5 minutes away from winning it or whatever, and you end up drawing it. But I think a point away at Stockport is still a really good point, given where, not only where they are in the league, but also, they're going to be a direct rival this year, probably for Barnsley. So, yeah, I don't think they can be too disappointed, even in the manner in which it was conceded.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree with you. The last 2 games now, Rotherham 1, Wycombe 1. Since Michael Duff took charge of the chair, boys, no team have actually picked up more points than Wycombe. Wycombe picking up 19, Burton 18, Bolton 17, Reading 17, Rotherham and Stockport 17, Lincoln City 16, just outside those playoffs in that time. 12 unbeaten in all comps under Michael Duff, 8 in the league, 4 wins, 4 draws. If you want to take it back, they've had 10 league games under Duff. They've taken 90 points. They've won 5. They've drawn 4. They are on a really good run right now, and they're starting to show chance for the playoffs. Rotherham are 9 unbeaten themselves, strong at home, masked by a lot of draws, but they have won games in that time and deserve credit. Matt, I'm sure we've given a little bit of flack to on this channel. I think now that they are moving up that table and kind of getting towards League One, safety almost. Yes, they're only 24 points. Yes, they've been 1 win, 1 draw, 1 defeat, but they seem to be a little bit better than last year. They seem to be a little bit more structured. They don't score a lot, they don't concede a lot, but they just seem like that typical side that will finish 13th, and that is where Rotherham are. Yeah,
not a lot to add to your summary there, Ben. It was a decent game. Good goal from Jamie Mullins, and then Kean Spence with a nice goal to equal. To be honest, they were the only 2 highlights that really came from the package that I watched. Not a huge amount going on. Some decent chances, but yeah, I think both teams will walk away happy to extend their unbeaten records. And yeah, they're still within touching distance, both of them, aren't they? Within striking distance of the top 6. So I don't think either will be disappointed with dropping 2 points yesterday.
No, absolutely. I think they'll see it as Rotherham away seen as a tough game. They're very good at home. Wigan 0, Stevenage 0. Wigan are very much the same. They're 2 points worse off than they were last year, but in a game less. They've won the same amount. They've drawn 2 less. They've scored 5 more.
Do you think we're going to progressing enough? Because they sacked Maloney because they felt like they were going nowhere.
No, they scored more, they conceded more. I feel like they're on a project and it might take time, but I don't think Ryan Lowe excites me. I don't think that you're getting what you get with Ryan Lowe. I feel like there's quite a negative energy. He's bringing Mullen on in the 90th minute. What's that about? Ridiculous. But Stevenage are a tough nut to crack, by the way. No side in the EFL have conceded less goals than Stevenage. They've only conceded 11-16. That'll do for Matt Farley. Stats.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stevenage had the better chances in this game by all accounts. I've been told to give a massive shout out to Saxon Early, who played really well as a left back for Stevenage yesterday, which surprises me that he's been able to play a game of football, bless him. But yeah, I think it's a decent point. I think Stevenage will be slightly disappointed with their week. Obviously, they beat Peterborough, but dropping points away at to Doncaster, and away at Wigan, a Wigan team that aren't going to be affecting the top echelons of the league this year. I think they'll be disappointed not to take more from that. But it does feel a little bit like I said there, like Charlie's put there as well. I feel like Wigan are treading water, and they're very similar to what they were last year, just a little bit more entertaining. I think that completely puts a facade and mask over the
squad they had last year as well.
Yeah, the recruitment of someone was good, like Christian Sadie, Costello. They spent money on him. Callum Wright's come in. They've brought in Murray from Scotland, who had a good individual year last year north of the border. So everything points, and they kept Tickle and they kept Carragher and Aimson and Kerr still kicking about, and Matt Smith, and they've got lots of really good players this time. Paul Mullen, who's maybe not a proven League One player, but still knows where the net is as a goal scorer. I just feel like they're exactly where they were, and I don't think it's due to lack of investment, because they've invested in that team, and I don't know really whether it's Ryan Lowe, whether it's not the right fit. I don't know. It feels weird because Ryan Lowe's team, it just masks over the fact that they're still perennially underachieving. This is Wigan Athletic. They won the FA Cup, like 12 years ago.
They seem to be just on character and momentum and vibes that, you go and talk to them, and it's like, it must be frustrating how bad they are and inconsistent they are. And you get on Sky every week telling everyone about everyone else.
That's right.
They know about that with Hasselbank, don't they?
Well, it must be frustrating. So, yeah, that's just how it is, mate. But it was a 0-0 draw that didn't have a lot of goalmouth action. Shall we move on to predictions?
We shall. If you haven't already, please make sure you drop a like, subscribe. That'll be appreciated. Just 800 away from 19,000 now.
Well, Ben, I can tell you we have a new leader for predictions. You had a stinker midweek, got no points. I picked up 3. Luton Town are my best friends this week. I've predicted both of their scores, bang on the money. So 3 points, drew it level to 105 going into the game week. Ben, again, on this front page, how many points do you think you scored? None. You got 3 points this weekend. 3 points. I got 9, including 2 correct scores. The Bradford, Exeter, and the Luton, Bolton score as well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So that means now Ben is on 108 and I'm on 114. So it's still close. And obviously there is no League One live show next week, Ben, is there?
No.
Because of the FA
Make the League One video instead.
So I think what we're going to do is we have a game on Tuesday. We then have 2 games next Saturday, but then we have a host of midweek games the week after what would have been League One live. So I think to make it interesting, I think we're going to do the predictions for that for Tuesday the 9th of December.
We're not. We're doing a show.
No, we're not.
After these Saturday games.
There's 2 games on Saturday.
Yeah, after the Tuesday, we're doing a show.
No, you're confusing it, Ben. So
no,
Tuesday,
I'm not.
You are. Listen.
Shut up a minute, right?
No, because let me sort it out.
We'll do predictions, right? For Tuesday the 9th of December.
Yeah.
And then we'll do our predictions. Yes, now. Then we'll do our Saturday predictions on Wednesday.
That's what I was saying.
All right. Perfect. I like it like this.
Yeah, good. Because unfortunately, it's not going to carry on. Ben, 1 game on Tuesday. Wigan Athletic against Burton Albion. What are your thoughts?
2-1 Wigan.
The Burton decline started. And we're here for it. But Wigan Athletic 1, Burton Albion 0. Let's have it. Ben, on Saturday, then we're moving into Cardiff versus Huddersfield. 2 games.
You know what to do, you.
Yeah.
Did you predict Burton? Leyton Orient 4, by the way.
No, I predicted Burton 5, Orient 0.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he predicted Port Vale to beat us 5-0. Cardiff Huddersfield. I'm going to go Cardiff City 2, Huddersfield 0.
2-1 Cardiff. Is that an early kickoff?
Yeah, well, they're both early kickoffs on Saturday. Plymouth versus.
No, these are Tuesday night games.
No, these are Saturday games. All 4 of these teams are knocked out of the cup, so they're rearranged.
Oh, right. Oh, is it 4 games next week?
No, there's 2.
Oh.
No chance. You ain't getting me. You ain't getting me here, boy. We'll do a video. Plymouth Argyle versus Bradford. I'm going to go Plymouth Argyle. They're clearly not going to sack him. I'm going to go Plymouth Argyle 1, Bradford City 1.
Yeah, I was going to put the same. 2-1 Bradford.
Okay, then. Tuesday, the 9th of December. Ben, starting with you. Doncaster Rovers against Stockport County.
1-0 County, Stockport.
I knew that because it's not Doncaster County, is it? So I figured that out, mate. Yeah. 2-1 Stockport, I think. You went 1-0. Exeter versus Wimbledon. I'm gonna go Exeter 2, Wimbledon 1.
Of course you are. Exeter 1, Wimbledon 1.
Leyton Orient versus Luton, Ben.
2-1 Leyton Orient.
I'm going to go 2-1 Luton. Lincoln versus Barnsley. I'm going to go Lincoln 1, Barnsley 1.
Lincoln 2, Barnsley 1.
Don't mind it. Mansfield versus Bolton at the 1 call. I'm going to go Bolton Mansfield Town 1, Bolton Wanderers 3.
Oh, Mansfield 1, Bolton 2.
Cobblers versus Huddersfield at Sixfields, Ben.
2-0 Huddersfield.
1-0 Cobblers. So we play Port Vale against Bradford. I'm going to go. So we play Port Vale. I think they score 1, but they lose. Bradford City 2.
2-1 Port Vale.
Darren Moore, tactical genius. Ben, Stevenage versus Cardiff.
1-0 Cardiff.
I'm going to go 2-1 Cardiff. Wycombe Wanderers versus Plymouth Argyle. I'm going Wycombe Wanderers 2, Plymouth Argyle 0.
Of course you are. Wycombe 2, Plymouth 1. They knocked you out of the cup.
And finally, Ben, from you. Oh, no, not finally. Reading versus Peterborough, Ben.
2-1 Reading.
I'll go 2-0 Reading then. And then finally,
as Jojo Siwa would say, calm as a bitch.
Finally, on the Wednesday, the 10th of December, while League One Live will be happening, I'm surprised we're doing a League One Live, Ben, because your team are playing. It's Rotherham United against Blackpool.
Are they playing Wednesday?
Yeah.
We do Thursday. I can't do Thursday, actually. I'm at a gig.
I'm going to go Rotherham United.
If I cancelled Wombat for League One Live, she would kill me. Literally kill me.
I'm going to go Rotherham 2, Blackpool 1.
1-1.
There you are. That's the show done and dusted then, chat.
Yeah, there you are.
Good effort. Good effort, everyone.
Enjoyed that, mate. Who have you got next week in the FA Cup, mate?
It's Tin Pot competition, mate. Don't need to play it.
Yeah.
You played on Tuesday in a Virtue.
Yeah, through.
Enjoy Tranmere, mate, won't you? Enjoy it.
Well, why have you been like that?
Because you're playing Tranmere. And the Tin Pot.
We're in the same cup competition, mate. You got a League One side. We've got
League One team. How many teams are you playing in League One in the next 7 days? 1. How many League One teams are we playing over the next 7 days?
1. That didn't go well, did it?
No, well, we also played a League One team yesterday, which you didn't play. So
what an absolute! Come on now.
Good fun, though, isn't it?
Thanks for watching, guys. Please give us a like. Please subscribe. Any parting questions for the last 2 or 3 minutes? That'd be appreciated. So yeah, enjoyed that. It was a good show. Thanks for all your support as always. A good 400 overall tonight so far. That was really good. Thanks, Sue. Appreciate you. Using your cable here, Sue. Really, I can lift it up. There we are. Can see a bit of it. Helping me out no end. You what?
What's that? A cable?
She bought me a little Prezi.
Oh, right. I see how it is.
Yeah, well, favourites get king treatment, don't they? You and your sick head shall think you're the favourite.
I'll get brownies on Tuesday night.
Yeah, but you get the crap ones. I get the good brownies.
Are you getting brownies on Tuesday night here?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, from Tesco.
You know what I need to ask Sue to do? Sue needs to leave some brownies somewhere in Blackpool for me. Right. Like at a hidden, like, local. So, you know what you should do, Sue? Hand them over in a bar in Blackpool. No, don't do that. Or put me in like a location where it's very discreet. And after when I get back from Newport, I'll go on a hunt for him.
Sue, just put it under a season ticket shirt. Bloomfield Road. He'll get them. They'll find their way to Nappers. He'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next home game against who's their home game after us? Let's have a look. Against Doncaster on Boxing Day, they'll be there for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks very much, mate. Well, thanks very much for watching. Who do you think is best fun too, mate?
Street and Moylan.
Okay. For Fleetwood, who would you say? I would say for Fleetwood. It's quite easy.
Ched Evans has got to be in there. As does Ryan Graydon.
Yeah. Both of whom were dropped yesterday.
Ched Evans just comes on and changes games. He did it in a Harrogate game.
Mate, when he plays, he changes it.
Why is he still on the bench?
I think because Graydon.
Peter, we need to have a word with Peter.
Come find me.
Yeah. Well done, mate.
Why does that come out? Oh.
Because we need to have a word with Pete Wild.
Peter, will you stop talking? I'm talking, you're talking. Only you can hear one of us talking.
Yeah, that sounds like League One Live, that does.
Yeah. And guess what? You're the one that's being the princess. Well, thanks very much for watching. Black Friday weekend, I still couldn't get rid of him. I offered 95% off. No takers, pal. Thanks for watching as always. Leave a like on way out. Subscribe for more League One content. And yeah, that'd be much appreciated. Thanks for watching.
See you in 10 days.
I want some of the brownies now.
UMs.